what are the specific risks that you see, that can pose some kind of derail in terms of any specific earnings or any specific themes which you feel there are, or any specific events. We are having a lot of global events which are happening, whether it is divergent interest rates movements across various countries, and how it can impact India in terms of, or for that matter, we are also seeing the commodity prices which are looking to be stable at this point in time. But I'm sure, 3 years back, we'd seen the Russia-Ukraine war and the commodity prices stabilize, of course, after that. But I think in the last couple of months, a lot of inflationary pressures have been created across across various sectors, and the monetary policy, which is so to say, as far as the RBI is concerned, they are pretty much okay as far as current state of affairs are concerned, as far as the growth is concerned. So are you seeing any specific risks with this kind of a backdrop, or any specific other things which pose?
I think it's a very interesting question, Mohit. What we've seen actually the last couple of years, and particularly even more in the last couple of quarters even, right? We've seen markets where there's been massive movements within a day, let's say on the equity markets, on the commodity markets, on energy markets, metals and debt, all together in the same day. Now, this is quite unprecedented in terms of the amount of volatility that comes through. That said, the market has actually also been quite reasonable in terms of how it has settled through this period, right? I think the domestic flows have really helped, I would say, take up the place of the foreign money, which has, by and large till June, early July, was sort of leaving the market. So I think that stability is certainly been there. I would say the continuing risks, I would highlight probably one external and one internal risk, Mohit, which I think still continue to we need to monitor them. The external risk is still the geopolitical risk and the supply stability around energy, right? I think that is still something which, if this continues for a long period of time, there's no resolution, oil prices still continue to be at a higher level. It does put a lot of things at stake, right? I mean, India gets quite vulnerable among most economies on that. So that is one thing that we definitely look at. The second is more of an internal risk, which is usually the monsoon and its progress. After a very, very difficult June, I think July has been a good month on that front. But that is still something that we continue to monitor to make sure that on the rural side as well, the incomes start matching and consumption story holds. So these would be two specific risks, Mohit, that I would still highlight. And I would say that volatility we should expect to continue. Just because it's very hard to predict the direction, particularly that the US is taking, and one person fundamentally drives a lot of that decision making in a very unpredictable way. So that volatility we expect will continue significantly.